Joining me now for reaction is Fox News contributor Governor Mike Huckabee and former Obama economic advisor Austin Goolsbee. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us. Governor, I want to get your take on it. You've held leadership roles at the highest of levels. What's your take on this feud between the two, Nancy Pelosi and Ocasio Cortez?
Congressman, I've often said the most dangerous person in the room is the person who doesn't know what they don't know. And the problem with these tigers that Nancy Pelosi can't tame is that they don't know what they don't know. And their inexperience is showing. It's the best thing the Republicans could have. This is going to surprise Austin and perhaps you. I've got a lot of respect for Nancy Pelosi. May not agree with her. Hope she's not the speaker next time. But she is a very capable, experienced, and a very able legislator. She likes to say that herself, but it's true. Let's give her credit for it. But this is something she's not used to, and that's mutiny within her own ranks.
Austin, what's your take on it as you see these two play it out? This idea that there was no hatchet is kind of laughable, but come on, they have been feuding, and it has been serious. And Ocasio Cortez has an awful lot of power because she's got an awful lot of microphone time.
Yeah, look, I think two things. The first is Governor Huckabee better watch out because that was recorded. We have that on tape. Now we're gonna keep it. But look, I think that this is the mature way to approach disagreements on policy, is to have a meeting behind the scenes and work out your differences. I think they learned the lesson that the Republicans followed throughout the 2000s when Obama was there, of how not to do it, which is you get the ideologically safe districts, those people challenging in the primaries the incumbents or the moderates. You end up putting up extremists so that in totally red states like Missouri, Indiana, now Alabama, West Virginia, the Democrats start winning and the Republican Party as a whole suffered because they ideologically pure component. I think they're trying to avoid that.
I know you'll be shocked, Austin, but I kind of disagree with you. I think this was a made-for-television event. I don't think it's a coincidence that it's 7 months into their term and that it's done the last day before they go on to recess, and you have every camera sitting outside their office. Why it took 7 months, I don't quite get that, but nevertheless, let me move to a slightly different part of this topic here, Governor. On the one hand, Nancy Pelosi will routinely say that she believes Donald Trump is essentially under the control of the Russians, but she's not in favor of impeachment. And I've heard, you've heard this argument time and time again, but they're not willing to do impeachment. What's your take on it?
Well, she's trying to ride both sides of the seesaw, which is impossible. She's got all of these very radical leftist loons in her party that are taking the party away from her. But she's also got reasonable Democrats across the country who will never go that far. And if the party nominates somebody as far left as most of the people on that stage, if they continue to let people like Ocasio Cortez be the voice of the party, and she's going to be because nobody can stop her, then I think the Democrats, they got a real problem on their hands.
And Austin, you got to admit that the so-called squad is pushing the party further and further to the left. You have basically every presidential candidate just jumping to get in front of them and say, oh, yeah, we support what they support. And Nancy Pelosi even admitting that they aren't very far apart in terms of their policy, but it's a socialist agenda that they're pushing for.
I mean, the socialist agenda like Social Security and Medicare?
I'm talking about the new Green Deal and come on. Yeah. Come on, Austin. Look, what they've been doing is radical. It's so far out there, even Bernie Sanders has a hard time swallowing it.
When you say radical, I would just like to explore that Medicare choice plan is supported by more than 70% of the country, including the majority of Republicans.
No.
Yes, it is.
There's no way.
I really don't view that that's going to be a radical agenda.
Yes, I think it's a radical agenda.
The former vice president is currently leading, and he's leading against President Trump by 10 points. He has a far higher approval rating than the president does.
Governor, how do you see it?
Well, just to remind Austin that all the polls show Donald Trump couldn't win, wouldn't win. Hillary had it in the bag. Keep believing it, Austin, because 2020, there's going to be a lot of Democrat balloons sitting in the warehouse, and nobody's going to be there to take them down.
I'm
convinced you're going to see a re-election for the president.
Austin, last word. I got about 10 seconds.
Look, in this is the mature way, as I say, to have two different wings of the party come together, not do it in public the way the Tea Party did when they took down their own Speaker of the House.
I give it about 6 or 7 days, and they will be at each other's throat yet again. Austin Goolsbee, Governor Huckabee, thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday.